Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now we will continue on the practical part of the machine learning. I'm not going to discuss the modeling part today. I will upload the another video maybe tomorrow or by Sunday, definitely. Okay. But today I will make you understand how you can do the data analysis step by step and what is important, why it is important. Otherwise, this video will be very long and it will be too much exhausting for you too. Okay, so take a break. Today, we have also discussed the theoretical part in the morning in the live session. What is machine learning, types of machine learning, why you use it, tools used for the data analysis, what is the machine learning life cycle, and so on. I am continuing the lesson 2, part 2 now. And if you have any question, feel free to post. Don't feel shy, you can email me, you can submit your project, okay? And then you can learn and become expert. If you are following all the instructions or recommendations I'm giving you in every video, then nobody can stop you to become an expert in machine learning and you will become fully confident in machine learning. Okay. And the very first thing is today for you, do one thing, whatever I am sharing with you in this coding video, just make a copy of this notebook and do it again. Okay. Either you can look at my notebook again and again when you are typing the code, but do it again and ask yourself the questions too. And what question you can answer yourself. This is great. If not, you can write down those all questions and just email me or post under the comment section. I will definitely reply on those questions. Okay. I highly recommend this thing. If you don't ask the question, you cannot be expert in machine learning. Either it's a machine learning or any other thing. If you don't ask the question, there is a less chances you will become expert. Okay, so ask questions. So now let's start with the data analysis steps. So I have listed the analysis step which we have discussed in the morning too. I'm not going to repeat it. You can read it in the notebook. Okay. And this is the useful resources. You should go through it. This is machine learning articles. In this, every article is a step by step. I will start posting the articles again, continue posting the articles again on my website. And the EDA step by step with the more detail. Okay, this is a very good video. I have posted this video, I think, 3 months ago. And here, this is also the detailed video, but it only contains the EDA. Okay, again. So now let's start. Look at this code. Did you see this green color code? This is the first and most important requirement for every coder. Either you are in a development or in AI. If you are writing the comments properly in your code cell, then your every notebook will look professional and it helps you to understand the concepts. If someone else is reading your notebook, reviewing your notebook, they will also be happy. Okay, so this is the first and basic point when you start writing the code. Okay, so we are going to import pandas as PD. What is this import? Import means you are importing one of the library from the large data sets of the libraries from the Python, your stock. Okay, so we are import pandas as PD. Why you are using the as PD? Why you can't use the pandas directly? You can if you want. Okay, to avoid to type this such big name again and again, we create its alias. This is the reason we always import it as a import pandas as PD. Instead of PD, you can write any name, but PD looks more professional because PD stand for pandas. Okay. And then import Seaborn as SNS. What is the use of pandas first? Remember, we discuss it in a live session. If you are watching this video directly, then I would highly recommend watch the first part of lesson 2. Okay. Panda used to manipulation of the data. Okay. Seaborn, this is for the visualization, right? I told you this is the child library of the matplotlib. Whatever code you are writing in the matplot, let's say if you are drawing any graph, you need to write so many piece of line of code, Seaborn. Same thing you can do with the Seaborn, but some graphs and edits only possible with the matplotlib, which is not possible in the Seaborn. Okay. Matplotlib.pyplot as a plot. This is we are importing this library. This is sklearn.dataset import load iris. So what I am doing, I am like importing a package from the package sklearn.datasets. Sklearn is the library for the machine learning. It contains so many libraries. It itself a big package which we always use for machine learning. Okay. And I am importing the load underscore iris. This is the name of the data set. And we can load this data set directly from the Python stock or Python like your database. Either you can import it as a CSV file, you can download it from Kaggle, you can download it from the repository of the machine learning data sets. There are multiple ways. Remember in the live session, I told you there are different ways to collect the data. Either the stakeholder will provide you the CSV, or you can download it, or you can scrap it from the website, multiple ways. So here I'm using this data set directly from the Python stock. So I'm loading it. If you want to load any other data set, you can go to the Python org website and look for the other data set list too. Okay. After that, load iris data set. What steps you need to take? Look at this one. You can open the notebook on the right side and you can type actually code yourself. It will help you to understand as well, and you can listen me as well. You can pause this video and you can type the code. You feel more confident. Believe me, once you will close the video, you feel more confident and comfortable from inside. It will give you the encouragement and like the confidence to do more projects. Okay. And then here we are writing iris. I have taken the just variable name iris. You can use any name, but my recommendation is always use a professional name, which is very, very important. Is equals to load underscore iris dataset. You can see I'm using the Google Colab. If I'm hovering on that, it is giving you the definition of each and every variable. Okay. And then df. This is we are just declaring the name of the data frame. You can name it df underscore iris too. I'm using df only because today I'm going to use only one data set. So here PD, what is PD? This is the alias of your pandas library, right? Dot data frame. This is the inbuilt method, okay? Inbuilt method, you are passing iris dot data. This is the way how we are fetching the data from the iris where you have load the data. Then columns, this is the just parameter of your data frame dot iris dot underscore features underscore names. Okay. So here this dot data and dot feature underscore names, this is your inbuilt like the name. You cannot make any changes in this because this will help you to fetch out the feature name and your data too. Now you can define df square bracket. This is pandas. Here single quotes target. So why I am writing here target? Because I want to highlight this is a target feature. Iris dot target, you cannot make any changes in this. Okay. And then species. So you can just say target dot map. Why you are using the map method here? Because you want to map with the target variable all records. Like let's say if you have here the target setosa 0 value. So you want to map all these records according to this record only. Okay. It should not be mismatched. That's why you are mapping it. That is the 0 setosa, 1 versicolor, 2 virginica. We're just defining it. Okay. And then here I'm printing the first 5 rows. Either you can use the df dot head or you can just print df2. Okay. Now we will run it. Look at this one. So it will print the first 5 rows. Okay. So this is the first 5 rows, but if you want, you can print more records as well. It is showing the data in this form, but I will show you in another way too. Okay. So this is the dictionary. This is the map method. Don't worry if you don't know what is map method. You can keep continue practice with my Python playlist. Every function, advanced functions, intermediate, basic functions, I have uploaded all videos under the Python playlist. Okay. So if you still have any question, you can ask me. And don't worry, you don't need to go for the documentation every time. If you only don't understand what does it mean, right? Even after watching my video, then you can go to the documentation. Read it once, and then come back again and listen my video again, and then try to understand. If still you have a problem, then type your question. Don't feel shy. Okay? Here you can see df.head. This is the method, right? So here we can, if you want, you let's say if you print only here df, you can also print it. Look at this. Then see its look and feel is totally different, right? It's showing in the table format. You can see many records here. You can see dot dot because there are a many records. You have a 150 records. You have a 6 columns. This means you have a 6 features. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So here you can see Setosa, whenever it is find the species name Setosa, it create one column target and it is denoted with the 0 numeric. That's why we are assigning here 0, 1, 2. Instead of like using the full name as a text, we are denoting it with the numbers. What is the reason behind it? Because whenever you are going to prepare the model, then it will be easy for your machine to understand the code, because machine learning model only talk in the numbers. They don't understand the like the text. Okay, but don't worry about right now. This is your first lesson. When we will talk about the classification in detail, then I will repeat these all important points again. Okay, so today just try to understand the data analysis step. This is a classification problem, definitely, because our goal is to predict based on these features like petal width, petal length, sepal width, sepal length, what type of species is this? Okay, so we are classifying the here 3 classes. So that's why it's a classification. Here I would like to add a one most important point. Definitely, I will repeat it again when we will start the full, like the little bit tough coding part or with the tough data sets. But I would like to share today as well, very brief. Sometimes students got confused in this. There is a 0, 1, 2, right? Because we have a versicolor, we have denoted it 1 and then 2. You will see these 3 number in continuation. Remember in the live session, I told you classification means when you are classifying the data, true, false, positive, negative, whether the patient is diabetic or not. So we are talking about only binary. But here we have a more than 2 classes, right? We don't have only 0, 1, positive, negative. We have a third class too. So don't get confused in this. This is still classes. The numbers are not like in continuation. They are repeating, right? 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. It is repeating because there are many species in the record which belong to your Setosa. So you will find many records with the 0. So this is classification. That's why students got confused sometime between regression and multi-classification. Okay, so this is very important. Here I would show you one point. Look at this. Difference between here classification and regression. Okay, so we can go here. Mm, with the target. Let me find it if we find good example in this. Ah, this is good example. Look at this one. So this is classification. Quality, here quantity, right? Quality means no continuation, right? We are just measuring. You are just giving the numbers, classes. This is A, B, C, right? So here in regression, this is quantity. If I give you the example of a house sale price again, when you are predicting the sale price of the house, it's a continuous number, right? Some houses will have a price 300K, some will have a 200K, 100K, 50, 100K. This is in continuation, but they all are numbers, right? But when we are talking about this one here, this is not continuation, right? 0, 0 is repeating many times. It can be, right? But it is not increasing. Don't think, it might be you are thinking if 0, there is a 1, 2, and this is 2. But this is a classification because it is stopping with the three classes only. There is a no continuation. Okay, we want to classify. So this is the major difference. Here we can take this example to look at this one, right? This is here the continuation. But if you look at this one, let me make it more bigger. I think this is video. I will close this one. So here you can see, right? You can see here, this is a different name of the fruits. So this is classification. When you see the target output like this is always classification. Okay. So this is the major difference. But definitely, whenever we will start talking about the types of the supervised machine learning, then I will come on to this topic again. Okay. And this is DF, you are printing whole one. And now here, if you want, right, you don't want to see the five. If you only use the head one, you have seen it is only printing the 5 rows, but you might be interested 10 rows, not in the whole, then you can use this. Okay. You can see this video how to use the pandas in detail videos. I have already the list of pandas too. Okay. So you can watch that. Now, so we are doing the data analysis, right? So first you import the libraries, load the data set, right? And then you are just checking here how many columns you have, what is target name, how the records are look like, right? You are just doing the exploration of the data, right? I'm not taking any action on it. I'm just trying to understand what kind of the data set I have, right? So this is called exploratory. Mind this word exploratory. Okay. Now you will check the missing value. This is the most important part of the data analysis. Okay. If you don't check the missing value, you are missing the big step. Okay. This is you will do. I'm not taking any action here right now. Okay. I'm just checking. For this, we are using isNull method dot sum. Okay. If you don't use the sum method, it will look like this. True, false. False means 0, true means 1. Okay. But I'm interested only the count if there is any like the missing value. It seems there is a no missing value. So it's a clean data. Don't worry. In upcoming videos, I will pick up the data set where we intentionally going to handle the missing value. Okay. All right. So here I have just to write the heading info method df.info. So this is the another most important step to check about the whole data set. You can use the info method. Here you can see it is telling you which uh, library it is using, total number of the records, and it is giving you the all columns name. No null means no missing value. And then float, data type 2, object. See, it is telling you your target data type is object. That's why we have denoted it as 0, 1, 2. Because this is beneficial for your model, actually. If you don't change it right now, you have to change it later on. Okay. Here you have it is telling you memory usage, data types, and this one. So you can see this is a complete summary of your data, right? So this is a magical method actually for the data analysis. As a beginner, follow all steps. Okay. You can check the duplicates too. We can write it here. Let me type this one. df dot duplicated sum. Okay. So this is. So it is like showing me there is a one duplicate. Okay. So if there is a one duplicate, you can delete it. Okay. If you keep it, there is a no usage, but if you keep it, there is a no harm on your model. But I always recommend to delete duplicate. Okay. So this is also the important step. And then this is describe method. Actually, describe method is a very detailed method. We call it statistical method. It will give you the statistical summary of each and every feature. Look at this first. So on the left side, it is showing count. Okay, what is count? Total record of your each feature, right? You can see 150, 150 count. Then it is giving you the mean, average of the each feature, average value. Okay, sepal length average value is 5.8. Average means, right? Total number of the records divided by the addition of all records and divided by the total number of the records. Okay, like we do in a mathematics normal. So this is that one. Standard deviation. Standard deviation is some kind of the range. Okay, how your data is distributed between the range. Okay, and there is some like the standard range between the 0 and 1, so it is showing that one. But if you want to take a deep dive about the standard deviation, you can check out my statistical playlist. I will share the link in the description box too when I will upload this video. Okay, or either I will give the link here too. Here the minimum value, this is the that record, 25% percentile. This is the 25% of your data distribution, then 50%, then 75%. We call it interquartile range. I will show you on the graph too, then it will make more sense to you. So this is sometime, in interview, they ask you about the what is the meaning of describe method. Explain it in a most easiest way. So my recommendation to you is how you are going to interpret it. Just to start with the definition. It shows a statistical summary of each feature present in the your data set. And then it tells us about the mean, standard deviation, minimum value, maximum value of the records belong to each feature and interquartile range. That's it. You can give an example, right? And then here is the DF species value count. Why I'm looking at it? This is actually target feature. Remember here on the here at the top species, this is the target feature. We are just using the value underscore count because I want to see how many records of each class. Okay, this is very useful like when we are checking the balance of the data too. So this is all balanced actually. It is not something like the Setosa has a 90 features, others has a 10 or 5, right? So it's a equal. So this is a balanced data. So this is the most important point for your data analysis. Check out this definitely for your each data set, especially when you are working with the like the classification. This is very important because otherwise what will happen, your model become biased. If you have, let's say, if you have 100 records of Setosa and we have a more 50 records, 25, 25 is this, so your model will give the weightage, higher weightage to this one, so it will be the biased model. Okay, I will give you the layman example because I'm assuming you are at a beginner level. So let's say uh, in a class there are two students, right? One student is like a average. There in every semester their marks is okay, and a second student is very intelligent, right? So what will be the teacher's expectations? Let's say student A is the intelligent student, student B is the average student. So your teacher's expectations from student A will be very high. Either they are giving the tough test, intermediate level test, or this, they are expecting he's going to crack it, right? And it will it is going to give the more weightage to the student A, right? Because it builds a strong relationship with the teacher, like I'm intelligent. But what about the average? Your teacher, maybe your average student might be in future, they become more intelligent, but What will be the like the relationship with teacher? Teacher might think, oh, this is the average, she or he is doing okay throughout the year, so I will not give them the high weightage. Okay, so this is the way. This is a layman example. So same with the model here. Teacher is your model and student are your data. Okay, so we don't want that, right? Nobody wants that, right? Teacher should look at an equal level to each student. So this is same with the model. Okay, so this is the best layman example I can give you here, and this is the basic steps. Okay, definitely we are again and again talking about the gate analysis, but today is your first day, so just understand the term. Okay, now we will start with the here plots, pair plot. What is pair plot? Why you use it? I have added few bullet points. It will explore the correlation between the features. Very important. You can see the patterns between the variables, detect the clusters and separation of the classes, for the outliers in the data. So these are the main benefits of pair plot. Might be you are thinking why we are taking the deep dive inside these. Excuse me, just give me 1 second. Sorry for the interruption. So here, because if you focus on the graphical part in detail from the start, from the beginner level, you will not, you don't need to look back again and again. You should be very good in explaining the graph actually. Which graph you need to draw at which level and for what kind of the data types and data set. This is most important part of your machine. Okay. So you need to do that. So here I'm using the your Seaborn library. This is pair plot. We are passing your data frame. Hue means we are just giving the effects of this one different colors. Plot dot show. Look at this. How beautiful, right? You can make changes in the color. I have already shared the Seaborn library link above. Okay. So you can see here this one. So diagonally, it is showing this graph. Okay. Look at this. This is the density graphs. So you have a three classes. That's why there is a three your this mountains bell icons. Okay. So it will denote your each like the type of class Setosa, versicolor, and your what was the third one? Virginica, right? So it is giving denoted with the different color all three classes here. Okay. So here we can look at this one. If you want, you can add the legend in this too. Okay. So it will tell you. So here we are talking about the sepal length. Okay. So the sepal length on the left side here on this y-axis, it is showing the sepal length. But you can see all three species, type of species or classes are overlapping each other. Okay. So these are overlapping each other in case of sepal length. But sepal length has a highest value. So this means it has a more records. Okay. More range of the records between 6 to 8. But your other two target classes has a less like the range. And here you have a sepal width. Okay. So this is a sepal width. Here is a legend. Blue color denotes to Setosa. Orange color denotes to versicolor. Here is a Virginica green. So you can see here Setosa has a highest sepal length, right? So this is very, very useful and so on. You can look at it diagonally and you can also look at the bottom. Just come here. So here, if you look at the target and sepal length, how it is making the relationship between them. If the sepal length is increasing, right? Sepal length is increasing. Here, the petal width, is it increasing too? Look at this one. This is the values between the, what is the green? Virginica, right? Petal length is increasing, not too much, right? If this is a here, this is the maximum length is 2.5, but your length is between 6 to 8, okay? But not going too much high, okay? This is the way how you interpret the graph. So you can look at the each and every graph. Here I have taken the one case for the density overlapping, like which class has the highest sepal length, you can look for the petal width, petal length like this way. Okay. And you can look for the this too. Here, petal width. Here you can see the target, right? So this is the relationship. This is showing the distribution of the here, your target. So highest, like the sepal length is for the Virginica. Okay, this one. And here you have a sepal width. Here you have the petal, your length, petal width. Okay. So this is showing the all relationship between the independent and dependent feature. This is showing something if we can consider this case. Look at this case. Here your two features overlapping each other, versicolor and virginica, but your setosa is clearly defined separate. So this will be easy for you to separate this class for your model. Okay. But there is a overlapping between your other two classes. So it will be little bit hard for your model to separate them. It might predict wrong. This is like a Setosa or Virginica. So which color is this? Versicolor or Virginica. Okay. So here it is totally separate. This is target. So we don't need to worry about it. But that's why it is showing the straight poles because this is target. But here you can see overlapping, right? And how the petal length is increasing. Okay. So this is the way how you can interpret the pair plot. And now this is going to give you the clear picture about the classes separation. How like your model will when your model is getting trained, and it will also give you the idea about the outliers too. If any data points are going beyond the 0 or 8, above 8, then this is outlier. Okay. But don't worry, this is the more technical term. You don't need to worry about it today. Just try to understand what is the usage of pair plot. Okay. Why use a correlation map? Now I will show you the correlation map first. This is plot figure, heat map. Here we are using the index location. This is the your all like your rows and your records from start to end. This is slicing of your that one list. And this is the last up to the 4 column dot correlation. Annotation means I'm writing this way. This is the percentage of the correlation. Okay. It can be negative, it can be positive. And then cool warm. You can make changes in the colors pattern. You can go to the website, see Seaborn or Matplot, and you can change the colors. Okay. And this is the title for correlation heat map plot.show. Never ever try to plot only the graph. Always plot the title, proper legend, proper labeling. It is important. Okay. I have a very good video on this. You can check out my data visualization playlist. Okay. So here you can see on the right side, darker color, higher color with this value means strong relationship. Okay. This is the color, negative correlation. This is going light, positive correlation, and this one. So every color defined its relationship. Now look at this. This is sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal. We always look at it diagonally. Why this is showing 1, 1, 1, 1? Because this is your target actually. How the target is diagonally like connected with each other. Okay. Sorry about that. This is not target. Sorry about that. So this is your 1, 1, 1. I forgot to print the target here. So this is 1, 1 means this is because every feature is correlated with itself too. 100%, right? Itself too. So this is the value of that one. So here you can see sepal length is strongly connected with the petal length. 82%. So this means if your sepal length is increasing, your petal width will also increase. This is positive relation, so it will goes in one same direction. If you go back here, you can check out here. This is sepal length. This is sepal width. Okay, you can see they are going in this direction, right? So let me open my annotate. Yeah. So they are going in this direction, right? So they are increasing in the same direction. So sepal width is also increasing, right? 4, 4.5. If you go back down, here the sepal length is increasing, right? So that's why this is 82%. Now we will consider negative case. See, 43 negatively correlated. If sepal width is increasing, might be petal length decreasing. Okay. So this is the one you can relate it. You can go and check out. They can be in a opposite way actually. Okay. So same with the others. So this is a strongly correlated 96%. See, petal length and petal width strongly correlated, and petal width and petal length. Okay. Here this is a very low and negative correlated sepal length and sepal width. So they don't have a might any relationship, no relationship. Okay, because generally we don't consider which is less than even 50%, but it depends upon the situation again. Okay, there are so many scenarios. I don't want to confuse you today. Just try to understand the heat map interpretation today. Okay, and then we will talk about the what is a box plot. Box plot is very, very useful when you want to show the about the your outliers in your data set. And it is also tell you about the minimum value. Remember statistical summary we were using the describe method. So this is that one. Now I'm going to show it graphically. First quartile 25%, median, and this is third quartile. How would you find the median? Q3 minus Q1. This is a formula. Check out my statistical playlist. Okay. This is outliers. Your points far away from most data. Okay. So look at this. You will use plot.figure, index location dot box plot, and this is the outlier. Okay. So box plot outlier detection. This is outlier actually. This is going away, right? And here this is outliers. This is median. Green line is median. This is your Q2, and this is your minimum maximum. Sorry, this is minimum, medium, maximum. Q1, Q2, Q3. Okay. So you can, how would you interpret this data? This box is very bigger, but your petal length has a more records up to 4, and then you have a less, like the range between 4 to 5. And this is median, this is the average value. Okay. But I have plotted it with the labels here for your understanding. This will be more beneficial for you if you are a beginner, and even if you are intermediate and like your advanced level, it will help you to refresh your skills. See, this is red color is median, this is Q1, and this is Q3. So this is very good graph to check for the outliers, quantile range, distribution of the data. We mostly use it, but we don't use it for stakeholder at front end. This is for our understanding because it is showing us how many records between what range of the values of sepal length, sepal width, sepal length. Okay, so this is the one. And now we will move ahead with the Boylan plot. This is very useful like this. So this includes the box plot too in between. So broader is this area, this means density. Okay. And the white line, again, it is showing median. Okay. So here I have drawn this graph for the petal width, petal length, and sepal width, and this one. This is used to visualize the shape and spread distribution. Definitely, you can compare the distribution across the group. This is very useful for actually skewness and multimodal distribution. Skewness is the very important point. Skewness means if your data is going on a one side. Skewness is a very good topic. Um, like if you want to take a detailed video, again you will say Nija is saying watch that video, that video. Actually, it's a lot of information. Okay. So skewness means I will give you the idea when your data is going on a one side, biased, left side, right side. But I have a playlist of for this one too. You can check out my statistical playlist. Okay. So this is the high density. Okay. So versicolor has a low density. So we are just comparing the sepal length based on the three different species. Okay. So this is a violin plot for each your type. And here I have labeled it again for your understanding. Okay. You can look at it yourself. And then now this was only the exploration data, distribution of the data analysis. Now you have done the exploration. It's a time to do now your explanatory. Now we will take an action on the data. This is the next part of your data. Here you can clean the data, you can manipulate the data to draw the graph or to show in a numeric form the distribution of the data. Okay. So here we will take the mean of the species. Okay, because I want to show the summary table mean wise. So we have a three species, we will take the average value and then we will plot the bar chart. Okay, look at this one. So this is showing the sepal length, sepal width of each type of your species. Stosa versicolor, sepal length, and this is the mean value of each one. Okay, and then petal length. Now look at this graph. So what does it mean why we are showing this graph? This graph is very, very useful when your stakeholder is interested to look at the average value belong to your each type of the class of the each feature, sepal length, sepal width. So blue would denote to sepal length. So which type of the species has the highest sepal length? You can see with the this one, right? So this is very high above 6. And what is the sepal width? This is the highest. Which is species? Setosa. Minimal, which one? This is petal width for the Setosa. Other two have a higher value. So that's why this graph is very, very useful. And this is most widely used graph for the stakeholders because it is easy to understand. Okay. And then box plots. You can also use the box plots again for the manipulate after the manipulation. Okay. So here we are using this to print the box plot using this data set. Okay. For storyteller, this one. Box plot sepal width across the species. So Setosa, there is a one outlier, but its a sepal width is higher for the Setosa. So this is a little bit easy to explain for the stakeholder, but I really recommend this graph for stakeholder at front end. Okay, this is just for your knowledge and understanding. Okay, and then we have here scatter plots. This is very useful actually. This is showing you the relationship between the different features and it helps you in the positive, negative correlation, like a correlation heat map. But you can draw it for each separate like features. Look at this one for features x in df dot columns. We are considering all four features and then feature by in this, and then we are plotting. So this is with the target and x-axis you and palette, you can make changes in this. This is very simple. If you are a new to Python, check my lesson for the loops and functions and conditional statement. Okay. And here you go. Look at this. So I will interpret one graph, other graph you can interpret and just write down the comments in the comment box. Look at this one. So here on the x-axis, there is a sepal length, right? So this is showing the light green is a Virginica. Dark green is versicolor. Setosa is a totally separate class. It is going in its own direction, right? But if the sepal length is increasing, the maximum sepal length is 5.5, I think. Maybe 5.7 for Setosa, right? Because this is Setosa. And its sepal width is 4.5. This means if your sepal length is increasing, your this is also a little bit increasing. So they have a positive correlation, right? And if we look for the sepal length for your Virginica, here, this is increasing. Here, there are some points, sepal width is increasing. If your sepal length is increasing. So this is the way how we are checking the correlation between the features. Okay, if one is increasing, other is increasing. Might be you are thinking why we are focusing on this too much, because this is the most important key points to understand the relationship between the features. I will use these words again and again, right? But before you watch the next lesson, I will recommend you uh, the videos which I'm going to share with you today. Pick up the videos and try to understand that topic. Okay. Like why it is important and what is skewness. This is all statistical topic. Okay. And this is all graphs of over this one. So this is all about this session. And if you have any question, if you are a beginner, you don't know like what is the skewness, definitely you can watch that video. Okay. We will take a baby steps, but Today, my goal was to make you understand what is data analysis at a deeper level. Okay, and in the most easiest way. So, definite, in short, so what is the use of this one? Data analysis, you are going to learn about your data set. You are going to explore it and take a action on it, handling the missing value, check the duplicates, look at the statistics, how the data is distributed, how the features are correlated with each other, how they are strongly correlated with the target. So this is all. Okay, so this is all we want to know, want to learn during the data analysis. If you have any question, feel free to post your questions and watch this video, pause this video, type the code, understand it, think about it, note down your questions, and you can post as many as questions you. Okay, okay. So I will take a leave now. Enjoy your video and see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next.